Hey, I'm Robert Love. I'm a neuroscientist and I specialize in helping people prevent Alzheimer's disease with science. I'm not a medical doctor. Please check with your medical doctor before you make any changes that affect your health. Welcome to the evening live. We're going to do a quick 30-minute one tonight. And what we're going to do is I want to get your questions about supplements and about Alzheimer's disease. So if you have a question about supplements or Alzheimer's disease, please put those in the chat. If you're just joining us, welcome. I love you. It's great to see you. Please put your questions in the chat about any questions about Alzheimer's or any questions about supplements. I would love to answer them. And then I'm going to be collecting questions. I'm going to use them to write on this book that I'm working on about supplements for Alzheimer's disease. And so I want to answer as many questions as possible. I will try to answer as many questions as I can this evening. It's great to have you. Hi, Leopold. Welcome. Great to have you. Please write your questions about supplements or Alzheimer's in the chat. I will answer as many as I can. And, hi Mimi. Welcome. It's great to have you. So please write your questions in the chat. Tonight we're talking about supplements and we're talking about Alzheimer's disease. Hi, MS6. Hello from Canada. Well, hello from Boulder, Colorado. By the way, sending love and healing prayers to those in Florida and those affected by the hurricane. Our brothers and sisters, let's send them some love and healing there. Okay, Leopold, questions for supplements for diabetics. Okay, that's good. It's interesting. What's the best supplement to take if lifting weights and I'm 58? Well, one is Viagra. Viagra for exercise and Viagra for brain health is great. Second is creatine. Creatine's great for exercise and great for brain health as well. Creatine improves mental performance. Good question. My hope is that TikTok will save all the questions here. That would just be super. So please write your questions about Alzheimer's, questions about supplements. I'm going to answer as many as I can. I'm going to use them in the book that I'm writing. Connie, well, aniracetam helps them with mild dementia. I'm not giving you medical advice. I don't know how many times I need to say this to cover myself. So I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm a neuroscientist. I'm giving you the research. And if someone I knew had mild, moderate, even late stage Alzheimer's, I would give them aniracetam. Aniracetam is shown to be helpful in mild and moderate dementia. I haven't seen it in late stage dementia, but if I had a loved one who had late stage dementia, I would give them aniracetam to try to stop the progression. Absolutely. So I don't know. It depends upon this person. And yes, it could be very, very helpful. Lojo Johnson, hi. Great to see you. Peacefully. I will be 55 next year. Is it too late to start supplements? No, it is early to start supplements. The sooner you start, the better. I'm 40. I'm doing longevity supplements as well as supplements that optimize my brain. 55 is a great time to start. Start right now. Start today. Start tomorrow. Start at the end of this show. Please, the sooner you start, the better. Shiv, I had sardines for dinner. You rock! Awesome. Everyone, let's send Shiv's send them some love for having sardines for dinner. You rock. Big Bird, hello from Arizona. Well, hello from Colorado. Great to see you. Heather Kelly, I ask about CMOS. So I'm wondering if you're asking about Huperzine A or about CMOS. Huperzine A, I can talk about. CMOS, I'm not super informed about. I will learn more about that and get back to you. These are great questions here. Supplements for ADHD. I have great videos on that. I can talk about some of them today. That's a great question. What kind of magnesium should we take? Well, it depends. This is from M. Solis. Depends what kind of issues you have. These are great questions. So magnesium glycinate is just good for overall. Magnesium threonate is good for the brain. And magnesium chelate is good for sleep. And then calm magnesium, I think it's magnesium. It's not magnesium oxide. I don't remember what that form is. That one's good. Okay, great. Diabetes and dysphagia. Do you want supplements for those, Dennis? Elderberry, do you have questions about elderberry? Elderberry is great for the immune system. I take it semi-regularly just to improve immune function. And I don't know if it has any benefits for the brain other than the immune system. Generally speaking, things that are good for the immune system are just good for the brain because getting sick is really, really bad for us. And people who are sick are less likely to exercise, less likely to eat healthy. So we don't want that. MS64, you are amazing. How many years did you study? Thank you. I so appreciate that. So I've been in this specific field of Alzheimer's and longevity for 3 years. Prior to this, I was working in ADHD. and I don't know how many years. I mean, I've been studying psychology since I was in college. So I'm 40 now. So I was 19 then. So what's that math? 21 years. I've been studying psychology. I mean, my first semester in psychology, I was studying how the brain works, and that's still fundamental to the things that I do. But specifically in this field, 3 years. And I got into this field because I was concerned about my parents. Oh, I did something interesting today. I set a timer. I'm going to ask people I'm only doing this for 30 minutes because I got to get back to what I was doing. But I want to, every 10 minutes, I'm going to break and ask you what you learned as a way of reminding us to review kind of what we learned. You make a bunch of claims that are complete BS. Hi, Roxy. Do you want to share what that is? I'm happy to talk with you specifically about it. What claims did I make that are complete BS? Let me know what those are. I'm happy to answer that. If you want to hop on live, I'm happy to talk with you then. But I want to address your specific concerns. You know something. Is that Colton guy here tonight with his pants in a bunch? I don't know. That was really interesting. I hope he's okay. I don't know what's happening in his personal life. You know, Joe Rogan and Dr. Jordan Peterson talked about this. 1 out of 4 people have depression or anxiety, and then 1 out of 10 people have, or 1% have schizophrenia. And when you start interacting with hundreds and thousands of people, a fair amount of them have something going on that's rough in their life. And it's possible that Colton had something rough in his life happening, and that's why he was responding the way he did. Maybe, I don't know. And I haven't heard from him since, but I hope he's well. That was very interesting to watch last night and experience. Aldo, how old were you? I'm 40 now. I started studying psychology when I was 19. I switched to this field 3 years ago, so 37? Maybe I was 36. Florida Cat Mom, so happy I found your page. Love it. Me too. All right, so questions about Alzheimer's, questions about supplements. How old was I when I started taking them? Well, it depends what supplement. I was taking supplements in college. There wasn't anti-aging supplements that I was aware of when I was watching it. Questions about berberine. Great. So berberine is berberine kind of like metformin, but there's less research on it. But that's a great question. So berberine. CMOS science. Okay, great. So people want to know about CMOS. I will do my research and bring that back and bring that up tomorrow. Okay. Roxy, I need you to ask a question about a claim that I've made so I can answer it for you. Can I just grind cinnamon in my food? Yes, hostess. I recommend taking cinnamon as a supplement, specifically Ceylon cinnamon, Ceylon. The reason being because you're probably not going to get enough cinnamon every day in your food, especially if you travel. And so I take a cinnamon supplement and I put it in my food. Dirty hands. Why do I always forget things? I don't know. I recommend getting better sleep and exercise. Start there. Grace Goal. I researched your topic the other day and you were correct, backed by science. All right. Thank you. I wonder what that was. I assume most of the things I talk about are backed by science. I really do my best to share the science with you. Best supplements for sinus and constant congestion. There's the alarm. Okay, I know we just got started. If you learned something recently, pop that in the chat. And then if you have a question about supplements or Alzheimer's, drop that in the chat. So 10 minutes from now, we're going to review what you learned. Okay. I really information about alkalizing spondylitis. I'm not familiar with that disorder. If other people want to learn about spondylitis, please put that in the chat. What are your overall thoughts on NAC? NAC is N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine is basically a precursor to glutathione. Glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. People seem to like N-acetylcysteine. I don't take it myself. It doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean it's not helpful. I don't know how helpful it is, and I don't know how it compares to liposomal glutathione. I take a selenium supplement because selenium is a precursor to glutathione. Glutathione cleanses are extremely helpful in getting rid of heavy metals. Let me do some research on N-acetylcysteine. So I'm going to mark that one. Do you drink vitamin C and magnesium drink regularly? Yes. Yes, I do. An actual scientist, neuroscientist, or a BA? I don't have a degree in neuroscience. I have a degree in cognitive psychology, if that helps you. And a neuroscientist, like you don't need a degree in neuroscience to be a neuroscientist. You basically need to study neuroscience, which is studying learning and memory, which I do. Sarah Michael, what did you eat today? What did I eat today? I didn't have coffee or matcha today. I was taking a day off of caffeine. I had sardines or anchovies in the middle of the day. I had my smoothie, And then for dinner, I actually had more sardines, and then I'm having some mushrooms and a salad for dinner. Supplements to lower cortisol. Yeah, L-theanine is really good for that. But that's a great question. Supplements to lower cortisol, supplements to lower stress, really great. Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I think I'm on Instagram, Robert W.B. Love. Paul Strites. What about 40 hertz light therapy? I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if that is helpful for either stress or Alzheimer's. I will look that up. You talked about tyrosine for focus. When I tried it before, it gives me anxiety. Yeah, so not everyone does well with L-tyrosine. Maybe you can take less of it or take it with food or try something else. So L-tyrosine is a precursor to dopamine, and that can increase dopamine, norepinephrine, and adrenaline, and those together could cause anxiety. You can also take L-tyrosine with L-theanine. Are you taking, this is Eden Noel 22. If you are taking that, why are you taking that? If you're taking that for focus, you might try something like aniracetam or huperzine A, or combine it with some L-theanine. What do I think of melatonin? Great question. That alone, that's a great supplement question. So melatonin is a hormone in the body. It's very similar to serotonin, and melatonin helps tell us it's time to go to sleep. Melatonin supplements have shown to be very helpful in reducing reducing oxidation in the body, specifically science. Roxy, you have no scientific proof regarding the claims I'm making about supplements. I think I do. So if anyone wants to check me on this, search melatonin and cancer. So you can go to Google Scholar, which is scholar.google.com. Search that. My claim is that melatonin is helpful with cancer, that melatonin reduces cancer cells throughout the body. Melatonin also promotes sleep. My other claim about melatonin is that that you can take melatonin, and then it doesn't reduce the amount of endogenous melatonin you take. So, for example, what they've done is they've measured melatonin in the urine, and that amount, the amount of melatonin your body makes, does not change based upon whether or not you take a melatonin supplement. So that's my claim. And also, don't take melatonin if you are a child. Don't give melatonin to children; it messes up your hormones. So those are my claims about that. If someone wants to check me on that. Can Alzheimer's be reversed? Ooh, Roxy, you might not like this one. The answer is yes, and it depends. It depends upon how far you are. Right now, that's not a claim that's being made. It's more like memory loss or cognitive function is being reversed. Thank you for the little crown. So we say cognitive decline is being reversed. That's the technical term. And in reality, yeah, Alzheimer's is being reversed because one of the major symptoms of Alzheimer's is memory loss. So it reduces the Alzheimer's based upon memory loss. You can also reverse the accumulation of plaque in the brain. Roxy, double check me on this one. Search curcumin and amyloid plaque in the brain. There's studies to show in mice and in humans that there's more studies in mice, because we can do more to them, that taking curcumin prevents the accumulation of plaque in the brain and actually removes the plaque in the brain. Check that out. They've done controlled studies in mice and in rats showing that curcumin reduces the amount of plaque in the brain and also actually helps remove it. Curcumin's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. Curcumin is great. I highly recommend that. That's probably one of the best preventative supplements out there. So I guess another great question is what supplements to take to help reverse Alzheimer's. Roxy, check me on that curcumin one. I really stand by that one. You will be my censor for the evening. Any claim I make, I'll say, Roxy, check that out. And by the way, please don't believe a thing I say. Verify what I say. I'm giving you the science. Please verify it for yourself. That way you really know that it's true. I'm sorry, I wish I could pronounce her name. Aya. Any supplements for androgenic hair loss? I could use it, right? My hairline is receding. I used to take Propecia, and then I'm glad I stopped because I heard it has negative side effects. So androgenic hair loss, I don't know what those supplements are, but we definitely want those. As men, I would love to have a more full head of hair. I think stem cells are going to be the best way to go for hair loss. Good question. Blessed Doctor reveals. Order Cylon Cinnamon today. Thank you. Good job. You rock. High five. Best supplement for sinus congestion. Yes, that is a question. I will look into that. Love your vid. So informative. Thank you, Hamburger. I so appreciate that. Vertigo supplements. I looked at this the other day. I had a girlfriend who had Meniere's disease. She had something going on there. That's interesting. I don't know if vertigo is a supplement issue, if it's a nutrition issue. I think that's I don't know what's dealing with that, but I'll look at that. I'll see if I can find something for that. That's interesting. Does melatonin deplete serotonin? No. Your body will make melatonin out of serotonin, but taking melatonin as a supplement, that just kind of puts it into your bloodstream. It doesn't reduce serotonin. Interestingly, half of your serotonin, I think it's half of your serotonin, is made by your gut bacteria. That's how important your gut bacteria is. So instead of giving someone antidepressants to increase their serotonin, we could just prescribe people to have a healthier gut microbiome, and that will improve the amount of serotonin that they have. What do I put in my smoothie? So organic broccoli, organic blueberries, and then I like to add some vegetables. I like to add carrots, celery, and then right now I'm adding Swiss chard, and I'll blend that up, and then I'll add some green powder, some chlorella, some spirulina, and some liquid stevia, and then some fats. So olive oil is ideal, maybe some hemp seeds, and then make it so you like it. Black seed oil, yes, people keep asking me about that. I will have something in the book about that. Flowers, rainbow, stars, you're the best. All kinds of colorful hearts. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. Roxy, I've asked you specifically what claims I'm making that you don't like, and you're not telling me. You're just attacking me as a person. Don't attack me as a person. That's not an effective way to argue with me. Attack me attack the specific claims that I'm making. I gave you several. Curcumin reverses the accumulation of plaque in the brain. That's a huge claim to make. Melatonin, it has anti-cancer properties. Go verify some of those. Tell me if I'm a scammer. And I haven't sold anything. I don't know why you think I'm a scammer. I'm providing, at the very least, entertainment for people. And I'm providing information for people. At least I'm providing an interest to go research things for themselves. And this is free. I haven't tried to sell anything. So I'm fascinated as to why you're still here, number one. That's interesting. And why you're upset with me. I don't understand. Did someone sell you supplements that didn't work? Tell me why you're upset with me. That'd be really interesting. Mademoiselle, how do you feel about parasite cleanses? So parasite cleanses, I don't know. I'm more interested in heavy metal cleanses. I think those are really valuable. This is another claim I'll make. Heavy metals are associated with an increase in the risk of memory loss and Alzheimer's disease. Roxy, check me on that one. My citation is the book, The End of Alzheimer's Program by Dr. Dale Bredesen. He heavy metal detox, as well as molds and fungi are risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. Also, carbon monoxide. I had a client who lived in a house with carbon monoxide poisoning, and she lost a big chunk of her memory from that. Okay. Regarding your video on fasting, what about drinking bone broth instead of coffee? I think bone broth might have enough protein in it or enough carbs in it to break a fast. I don't know about that. You can have, so with fasting, to get the benefits of fasting, which is basically autophagy, but there are other benefits as well. What you want to do is you want to limit carbs and protein, because carbs spike insulin, and protein spikes mTOR, which stands for mammalian target of rapamycin, and more recently, mechanistic target of rapamycin. Oh, it's 10 minutes. I'll finish this thought and then I'll ask you what you learned. So you can have, Dave Asprey shared this, you can have bulletproof coffee. So you can have coffee with MCT oil, with grass-fed butter and no sweetener, and that won't break a fast. You can also add, what is it called? Acacia powder, which is soluble fiber that your gut bacteria love that. You can have that. It makes it more filling, and you don't break a fast. What I've done, this is my little secret, I add a half stick of celery. So that's insoluble fiber. That's plant fiber. Celery has very few calories. So I'll take a half a stick of celery, and then I'll take coffee, MCT oil, and then I add coconut oil rather than ghee, and then I add those that acacia powder, the soluble fiber. That is really filling to my gut. The soluble fiber plus the insoluble fiber, very filling, and I can do that and not break my fast because I'm not increasing insulin or mTOR. All right, so write down what it is that you've learned, and I would love to hear what it is that you learned. Smoothie 2471. I'm just dumb in college. Is there a pill for that? I have my own thoughts about college and what college could be. The best thing about college is learning how to learn. And so if you can improve the way that you learn, that's really valuable. Let's see what people learned here. Heavy metal cleanses are beneficial. Great. Is collagen okay to take? Collagen is good in coffee if you're not fasting. I learned I want my book. Great. Curcumin removes plaque. Yes, it removes amyloid plaque in the brain. You're great. My son is a TB survivor. Do you mean TBI survivor? If your son had traumatic brain injury, I'd recommend oxyracetam. Not a medical doctor, not giving you medical advice. How many hours of fasting is good? It depends upon the person. Intermittent fasting during the day, 12 to 16 hours is good. You can go 18. Mushrooms are amazing. Yes, they are. Antiracetam, B complex, and fish oil. Yes, great. My mom is starting to show signs of dementia. What next steps to take? So one, I would get your whole family on board to do something. Hey, Roxy, Roxy, if you don't contribute, I'm gonna have to ban you. You're not playing fair. I've given a ton of information, and now you're not playing. You're just attacking me. Attack the science that I've said. I've said a lot of things. So Roxy, if you're gonna be here, I need you to play. You are giving medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not able to give medical advice, just like I'm not able to give legal advice because I'm not a lawyer, right? I can't give legal advice because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm sharing the science. So Roxy, if you're going to attack me, you got to attack the science. You can't just attack me as a person. That's not persuasive to anybody. Do you have a preference for omega-3 supplement? Yeah, there's one that I like. I think it's called Pure Force Omega-3. I'd use that one. It's a fish oil supplement. That's great. If you don't like fish oil, you can use algae oil. You can use, and then not as good is ALA, yeah. So you can get the oil from flaxseed oil or hemp seed oil. Okay. Robert, help, please advise on sleep. Okay, so the most important thing about sleep, and I got this from Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist from Stanford. He shared that the most beneficial thing to do for sleep is to get sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning. Let me start the timer again. So do that. Get as soon as you wake up, get sunlight. Walk outside for 10 minutes. Next, don't drink coffee until 2 hours after waking up, and stop drinking coffee at noon or 2 p.m. Get exercise during the day. Then don't drink alcohol or drink minimally. Then turn off television and phone 2 hours before bed. Put on blue blockers 2 hours before bed. Don't do work 2 hours before bed. Just read or listen to music or spend time with a loved one. That will make a huge difference, and have a consistent sleep schedule. Those are the best things for sleep. If you want to jumpstart it, take some magnesium at night with some melatonin. Roxy, where are you? Not giving medical advice. This is what I would do if I wanted to get my sleep schedule back on track. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I'm very sincere about the exercise and sunlight and having a regular bedtime. It makes a huge difference. Jessica Flores, what do you think about guanfacine for ADHD? I'm not familiar with it. Is that a big deal? If other people have heard about that and want to know about that, would you please post? Holistic approach is better than meds. I agree. So I would start with behaviors and then foods and then supplements. And most people like me like supplements. It's a fast way of getting a benefit. Krill oil is good. Yes, krill oil is good. Krill oil is a way of getting omega-3, great omega-3s. Supplements for fighting cancer. Great question, hostess. So my first one would be melatonin. Medical doctors will prescribe, Roxy, where are you? Medical doctors will prescribe up to 30 milligrams a day of melatonin for people on chemotherapy. Why? Because melatonin helps get rid of cancer cells. So that's number one. Number two, for reducing cancer, I made a video on this earlier, fasting. Fasting, your cancer cells, what they will do is they eat sugar. They need sugar. If you don't eat sugar, so if you're on the keto diet or you are fasting, your cancer cells get all upset and they get weak. So fasting is a great way to clear out cancer cells because they need sugar. Your healthy cells can go fine without food. They're great. Talk to someone who's fasted for 3 days. They have more energy at the end of 3 days. Healthy cells do great on fasting. So fasting is another thing for cancer. Hostess, do you have cancer or someone in your family have cancer? Fasting is great. If they're on chemotherapy, fast 24 hours before and 24 hours after chemotherapy, that reduces the symptoms of chemotherapy, the negative side effects, and it greatly improves the benefit. I'm really upset at the medical industrial complex and oncologists and those who sell chemotherapy in general for this, because I know something that's really helpful to people with cancer and on chemotherapy. I'm not a medical doctor. They need to be telling their patients this. It's fast 24 hours before and 24 hours after chemotherapy that improves the benefit of the chemotherapy because it weakens the cancer cells. And what it does is it reduces the negative side effects of chemotherapy. It's good for everybody. People will fast for 48 hours if you tell them it will help make their lives not miserable. So please share that with as many people as possible. Verify that in the science. Verify that cancer cells eat sugar. Verify that keto is good for reducing cancer. Verify that fasting is good for reducing cancer. Verify that fasting reduces symptoms from chemotherapy. All that's in the literature. If you go to Google Scholar. All right, great. What can be done if one awakens at 2 or 3? Oh, wait, let me think. Are there any other supplements for fighting cancer? I would say immune boosting supplements. We have cancer in our bodies pretty much all the time, and our immune system takes care of it a lot of the time. So immune boosting supplements is a really good idea as well. I don't know of any other anti-cancer supplements as strong as melatonin. That's a good question. What's the best breakfast to have for ADHD? Protein. So the best breakfast I would recommend is not eating. For children, that's different. By the way, what I share on my TikTok station is for healthy adults. It's not for pregnant women. It's not for nursing women. It's not for children. It's not for people with specific medical conditions. What I share is basically for healthy adults. So for children, I don't know what the ideal breakfast is. For most humans, I recommend not eating gluten, not eating dairy, not eating refined sugar, not eating processed fats, not eating processed food. That's just for healthy humans in general. Most of your food ideally would be organic vegetables, organic fruits, and then for protein, I like pastured eggs, and then I like smash fish, salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. And then there's one other one. Oh, and then pastured beef. Not too much protein. Ideally 0.7 grams per pound. If you're trying to put on muscle, a gram per pound, which is actually a lot to eat. But healthy protein. That's what I think most of us would do best at. And then I eat a lot of chocolate, but that's just my thing. Chocolate's great for the brain. Chocolate increases, it's called angiogenesis, which is the growth of new brain cells, new neural connections. Roxy, where are you? Google cacao angiogenesis. There was a great double-blind study where they had people drink these chocolate milkshakes. They weren't quite milkshakes, but you get the idea. Half of them were rich in cacao, half of them were not. This group, with the rich in cacao, they had improvements in their memory. Isn't that cool? So drinking chocolate rich in the flavonoids or the flavanols, which are the antioxidants, the anti-inflammatories, the good stuff in cacao, that improved memory in a double-blind placebo-controlled study. That one was cool. Is it okay for a 16-year-old boy to fast? I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. I would talk with a competent pediatrician or medical doctor. It's probably okay to fast 1 to 3 days a month. I wouldn't do. I think the important thing is that children, and I'm totally not giving you medical advice, and I'm trying to process this. I'm trying to think through the answer. The reason we don't want children to fast is we want to make sure that they're getting enough food. If a 16-year-old boy is getting enough food with doing intermittent fasting, so let's say they fast for 16 hours and they eat in an 8-hour window, that's probably fine. I don't know though. So I don't specialize in children. I specialize in working with people who are concerned about Alzheimer's disease. But that's a really interesting question. It's probably good for a 16-year-old in general to develop better habits, better consciousness, and better gratitude around food. Advice on productivity increase. Yes, love it. So nootropics. Write this down, people. Nootropics. Nootropics, Nootropics, are supplements or drugs that improve cognition and mental performance. Some famous nootropics that you've heard of are caffeine and nicotine. These improve mental performance. I don't recommend smoking. Do not smoke cigarettes. Do not smoke cigars. Do not chew tobacco. Those are bad for your health. Nicotine supplements like nicotine lozenges, even nicotine patches, have shown to improve cognitive performance. Interestingly, nicotine, those who smoke cigarettes have a 30% decrease in their risk of Parkinson's disease, and those who drink coffee have a 50% decrease in the risk of Parkinson's disease because those work on dopamine. So some supplements to take to increase productivity. I love aniracetam. That one's great. ANIRACETAM. You have to search for that one on where to buy that. Alpha GPC is great to pair with that. Alpha GPC is a choline precursor. And then another one, L-tyrosine, that is a precursor to dopamine. Those are all cognitive enhancers. Pair that with coffee. That'll enhance them. That's really fun. Add some fish oil and a B complex. If you're going to take any supplement to increase productivity, please, please, please take a B complex vitamin. Not B12, not B6, B complex. You want to take all the Bs together. And B6 and B12 are necessary to make certain neurotransmitters. So if you're going to do anything that, if you're going to take any supplements that are meant to enhance brain function, take a B complex with it. Make sure you're drinking enough water. You want to do that to make sure that your brain has enough horsepower. Bamber, thank you. You're welcome. Best ADHD vitamins for kids. ADHD vitamins. I have a video on this. I say it much better. So search in my videos ADHD advice for kids or supplements for kids. That'll do anything better than I can do here because I really thought through that one before I answered it. Mr. Scuzz, 2020. Wait, 2 hours of coffee after I wake? My coworkers aren't going to like that. Are you really at work within 2 hours of waking? That's amazing. I recommend perhaps going to sleep earlier and waking up earlier so you have 2 hours of time for yourself before going to work. You want time to get started for the day. Even Jeff Bezos of Amazon said, quote, I value my puttering time, which is him just kind of walking around the house, reading the paper, drinking coffee, spending time with his children. Please, please, please spend time with your family. Do some reading, do some meditation, do some exercise, get some sunshine before work. And so I try not to take appointments before noon so I can wake up at 8 or 9 and do a 1 to 2 hour morning ritual, do some work in the morning before I take any appointments. So yeah, try that, Mr. Scuzz, is going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, having some time for yourself. What kind of magnesium? It depends on what you're looking to do. Why 2 hours? Okay, so I got this, so 2 hours for coffee. I got this from Dr. Andrew Huberman from Stanford. He shared that within 2 hours of waking, we have elevated cortisol. Actually, the cortisol is our stress hormone. That's elevated when we first wake up to get us out of bed. Why? Because historically, perhaps we needed to jump out of bed. I'm sorry, I just saw something. This is my ADHD. I just started taking anirastatin. I really like it. Awesome. Castingina La. Sorry, I wish I could say your name. Great. I'm glad you like anirastatin. It's really good stuff, right? All right. So last thing, and then I'm going to ask you what you learned. So why 2 hours before bed? So our cortisol is elevated when we first wake up. That's to get us up and out of bed, get us moving, get us looking for food, getting us evaluating, are there predators around? Is there a neighboring tribe trying to conquer us? So we're alert in the morning. We want to wake up alert and get moving. Cortisol does that. After 2 hours, the cortisol is settled down. Now is the time to take caffeine. If you take caffeine as soon as you wake up, we're more likely to get the 4 hour crash because caffeine basically clears or reduces adenosine. As adenosine builds up over time, we get tired. This is why we're tired at the end of the day. Adenosine is built up, while melatonin is also released because we're in the dark. So if you wait 2 hours and then have your coffee, you're much less likely to have that evening crash. All right, take 1 minute. What is something that you learned in the last 10 minutes? Ideally, something you're going to implement. Love to hear it. You learned sunlight when waking. Yes, yes, yes. All right, blessed doctor. That's awesome. Pax Demand, what is my education? I went to Swarthmore and I went to the University of Texas. If you want to read about my education and history, go to www.bettermemorysystem.com/research. You can read more about that there. I've answered that a number of times on these lives, and I don't want to take the time to go into that in depth. I was wearing my Swarthmore shirt earlier, that light blue shirt that I made some videos in. That's my Swarthmore shirt. What vitamins do I recommend for acne? I don't know. Drink water and wait 2 hours for coffee. Yes, great advice, Christine. J.R. Renee Lee, B complex. Yes, that's great. What else have you learned? We have the potential to fight cancer in our bodies. Yes, absolutely. I'm 3 years sober, having a tough time with cigarettes. Ugh. Congratulations on being 3 years sober. That's great. Take B complex and nootropics. Yes, that's terrific. What else? Turmeric helps remove plaque in the brain. Yes, yes, yes. That's right, Lady Moss. It absolutely does. Specifically curcumin, not turmeric, curcumin. Vitamin A is good for acne. I didn't know that. Magnesium for sleep. Great. Should we be taking melatonin? I don't know. That's a question for your competent medical doctor. I take melatonin, and I take it because I want to reduce the risk of cancer and because I want to sleep well. I don't know what's right for you. Curcumin, Ceylon, cinnamon, B complex, Essen. Excellent, blessed doctor reveals you have learned a lot. Veronica, TBI again, traumatic brain injury. So traumatic brain injury can be helped, and I'm going to reach out to the Miami Dolphins. Their quarterback just had the second concussion in 5 days. Can you imagine 2 concussions within a week of each other? That person might not never be the same. The good news is there are things that we can do to recover from concussion, from traumatic brain injury. It is oxiracetam. Oxiracetam is shown to help improve cognitive performance and brain recovery in laboratory studies with mice and with rats. Number 2, Ceylon cinnamon, high doses of Ceylon cinnamon. So think at least 1,000 milligrams a day. Number 3, and then you want to take that with a B complex and fish oil. Why? Because your brain, wait, Roxy just said something. Sorry, I want to see this. Roxy, you got me all like distracted and interested now. Roxy, I'm going to check out your business in detail and take appropriate steps to report you. Awesome. I would love to speak whatever regulatory agency. And you haven't, Roxy, I don't understand why you're here. Have you been listening this whole time? Are you not, does it not seem like I'm trying to help people? I don't understand what you're up to. I don't know who you'd report me to. I'd love to speak with whatever regulatory agency has a problem with what I'm doing. That would be very interesting. Okay. So TBI, traumatic brain injury. So oxiracetam, B complex, fish oil. B complex and fish oil are necessary because you want to make sure your brain has enough horsepower to make those neurotransmitters, and the fish oil because your brain may be making new brain cells, new neural connections. You want to make sure you have healthy fat. Dave Asprey says, do you want a fish oil brain or do you want a French fry brain? I want a fish oil brain. I want my brain cells made of fish oil, not French fry oil. So take those things. That could be really helpful for recovery from concussion. A friend of mine recently had an accident on his scooter, which is kind of like a motorcycle. He had traumatic brain injury. And so I gave him some supplements. He's really recovered. He's been doing oxiracetam. That's funny, Polly. That's sad, but true. Polly Pocket Sunshine says, Roxy works for the government. She does not want people to heal. I think that's true for the FDA. This is fascinating. So the person I'm living with, James, he shared with me a Coca-Cola from Mexico and one from the United States. Guess which one is healthier? Coke from Mexico or Coke from the United States? Any guesses? The Coke from Mexico had cane sugar. The Coke in the United States had high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is very much related to health challenges, diabetes, obesity, weight gain, all kinds of problems. So the Coke from Mexico is better than the Coke from the United States. So the FDA protects us less than whatever the FDA equivalent is in Mexico. Isn't that amazing? That's so amazing to me. And Coca-Cola is an American company, and we are the richest country in the world. And for some reason, we allow an American company to use cheaper, less expensive ingredients that are toxic, that are poisonous, that are dangerous, and in some cases deadly, because diabetes can kill you over time. We allow them to use deadly ingredients that build up over time in products sold to Americans. That's amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And so it's really sad that that's where we are. So please, the important thing for us to do is to, one, educate yourself. By the way, I want to recommend the book by Tony Robbins, Life Force. At the very beginning, he says, you are CEO of your health. You are responsible for your health. Take control of your health. So don't believe me just because I'm on here. Do the research. Back up what I'm saying. If something I said sounds suspicious, do the research and back it up. Confirm that B complex is necessary to make neurotransmitters. Right? By the way, Dr. David Smith from Oxford, he found that fish oil plus B complex reduces the risk of Alzheimer's by 30%. That's a big claim. Verify that. Look on YouTube, Dr. David Smith, fish oil. See if what I'm saying is correct. So we are responsible for our own health. And so please take control of your own health. Please do your own research and then share this with others. When you do your own research and verify what you hear, so when you watch Dr. David Smith's YouTube lecture, you can then tell someone with certainty, with authority, hey, this is real. B complex plus fish oil, that's really darn important. You want that. You want to start taking that right now because that can make a big difference in your long-term health. It can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's by 30%. Get on it. Here's where I learned it. Please check it out. So when you do your own research, you can speak with that kind of authority and it's really helpful. Okay. Other questions about supplements? Okay, they just keep loading. Great. By the way, I really appreciate the questions. How about improvement to memory? So supplements to improve memory are the same ones that basically improve cognitive performance. So foods, you want to think foods that increase choline. This is egg yolks and this is beef liver. For example, those are two rich ones. There's other, you can search what foods are rich in choline. You can take a choline supplement or, a choline precursor. Alpha GPC and cittocholine are two great. Alpha, ALPHA, alpha GPC and cittocholine are precursors to acetylcholine. Those are really helpful. And then taking that with a B complex and aniracetam, that's great. Also for memory, attention is really important. So if you're listening to this while you're texting, you're not giving your attention to this information. In order to make a memory, your brain needs to know that it's important. And so if something's important, tell your brain. Sometimes I'll slap myself. I'll slap my leg, be like, hey, that's important. Pay attention to that. Someone showed this to me. They pinch their ear when they hear something important. And then they have a physical reminder. Hey, that thing's important. I remember when they showed this to me. I remember it was a sunset and I grabbed part of my ear. It was such a beautiful time. This was years ago. So you can give yourself little physical reminders that something's important. So those are some things to improve memory. Also, exercise, super duper important. Exercise greatly improves memory, cognitive performance. So focus on what's important, remind yourself that it's important, and review. Review is perhaps the most powerful thing to do to improve memory. If you review something, it tells your brain that it's important. All right, we got 4 minutes left before we are done here. Is algae oil an okay replacement for vegans? Yes, algae oil is great. Roxy, people, if you want info about Alzheimer's, see an actual medical professional or specialist. Thank you, Roxy. I think I've said that multiple times. I've said, talk to your medical doctor. I'm not saying don't talk to your medical doctor. In fact, I'm insisting on it because I'm not a medical professional. I'm not giving medical advice. So I agree with that. And sadly, most medical professionals think you can't do anything to reverse Alzheimer's, think that there's nothing you can do, think it's all genetic and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. That's really sad because that first of all, it's incorrect with the science. The research by Dr. Dale Bredesen shows that's not true. Memory loss can be stopped. It can be reversed. And so that's inaccurate. And the Journal of Neurology, I heard from Dr. David Perlmutter. He's turned me on to this, and then I read the review article. According to the Journal of Neurology, exercise is the number one thing that we can do to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's. So there are things you can do. If your medical doctor says there's nothing you can do, ask them if they are up to date on the science. I think that's an important question to ask. Excuse me, doctor, are you up to date on the science? If they're not, say, okay, can you recommend someone who is? Or here's a book, would you please read it? It's important for us to, Dr. Stephen Gundry says he's so grateful for his patients because they educate him. So let's educate our doctors. If you learn something that's cool, bring it to your doctor and hopefully say, thank you, this is really helpful. You don't want to see the doctor when they say, oh, that's not important, or oh, I don't care. Say, great, I'd like a referral for someone else who wants to see new information. Doctors, I don't see patients all day long. Medical doctors do, and it's difficult for them to find the time to read the research. I spend my time reading the research and then teaching it and then working with clients. So bring the advice to your medical doctor because they probably don't know most of this. Supplements for MS. I have an aunt with MS and I've tried to help her, and she also has Parkinson's disease. It's really challenging. I don't know supplements for MS. Dr. Stephen Gundry reports that going on the plant paradox diet is helpful. I would work on your diet. So that's Dr. Stephen Gundry. The book is The Plant Paradox. Roxy, he's a medical doctor. Is he allowed to help people? So check out that book, and that could be helpful to you. And then his newest book, I think it's The Longevity Paradox. I think it's an updated diet. I really like that one. You motivated me to buy sardines today. Awesome, Justin. You rock. Now, how do you prepare yours? I just basically put mine into a bowl, add a little apple cider vinegar, kind of mash them up a little bit and eat them. Find a way that works for you. They didn't taste good at first. Now I like it. Kind of like beer in college. When I first went to college, I did not like the taste of beer. And then eventually I was like, oh, this is nice. So find a way to make it good. Racetam cycling. Yeah. So unless you are over 65, I don't recommend taking aniracetam every day. Unless you have severe memory challenges, I don't recommend taking racetam every day. And frankly, I don't recommend taking any supplement every day, not giving medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor, can't give you medical advice. So racetam cycling, or cycling in general. So for caffeine, I want to stay sensitive to caffeine. So I'll do 2 days on, 1 day off. So I'll do coffee, I'll do matcha, and then I'll take a day off. And then maybe matcha and a day off, or coffee, day off. So that way I want to stay sensitive to the effects of caffeine. Racetams or nootropics, same deal. So I'll take aniracetam 2 days and take a day off. Or take aniracetam and take huperzine and then take a day off. Something like that. Or I'll take aniracetam and L-tyrosine and then huperzine and then take a day off. So it's good to take days off so that way you're staying sensitive to them. Does that make sense? It's called cycling, and it's not an exact science because it depends how much you're taking, why you're taking it, what other foods you're getting, and so forth. Cycling is really important. At the very least, if you're doing nootropics, take the weekends off or take 2 days off a week to give your brain a chance to chill. When I was taking Adderall in school, I'd take the weekends off. That was really important. And I'm so glad my parents had me take the summer off. I think that helped me eat more and grow. Okay, so we just ran out of time. So at the very end, I would love for you to write down what you've learned and what you're going to take action on. So people are buying sardines. People are getting supplements. People are getting sunshine. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you're going to take action on. Hostess Carol, I learned about B-complex fish oil and Ceylon cinnamon to help fight dementia. Awesome. Anything else? Yes, curcumin is also great. What else did you learn? Roxy's my number one fan. Yeah, that's interesting. You're giving medical advice without a medical degree. My potential legal liability. If I'm legally liable for medical stuff I've said here, I don't understand the legal system because I've said repeatedly, I have a disclaimer that's pretty clear. Interestingly, I advise medical doctors on improving their memory. They actually come to me for that. Advice for Parkinson's. Yeah, coffee and nicotine are the two biggest things. Nicotine from a lozenge or a patch. Those are shown to reduce the risk of Parkinson's 15% and 30% respectively. What else have you learned? Drink coffee, but not first thing in the morning. Excellent. B-complex first. Excellent. Exercise important to prevent dementia. Yes, Judy. Yes. If you remember everything, exercise. Thoughts on CBD? CBD is a great anti-inflammatory. I don't know what CBD plus THC kills cancer cells in vitro. I don't know if it works in vivo. It's really valuable. I don't know about CBD and improving cognitive functioning. We don't have good data yet. Anything for erectile dysfunction? I'm guessing that's what ED is. Yes, Viagra. Viagra is also good for reducing the risk of dementia. According to a large-scale study by an insurance company, those who take Viagra have a 69% reduction in the risk of Alzheimer's disease. That's great. Should we be avoiding dairy? Well, I'm not giving you medical advice, but I will tell you that I avoid dairy because dairy is associated with inflammation in most people. And inflammation is strongly associated with the risk of Alzheimer's disease. So I highly recommend I don't drink dairy because I don't want inflammation. Inflammation is associated with all kinds of diseases. Someone asked me about my degrees. If you want to read about my history, go to www.bettermemorysystem.com/research. You can read about my history and experience there. Anything else? I'd love to hear what actions you're going to take. So eating only meat is very good. That's interesting. I don't know if that's true, Mother Russia. So please tell me what actions you're going to take, what you learned, what you got from this, and any last questions about supplements. I so appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. There's 41 of you. Awesome people. I'll avoid the dairy. Good for you, peanut brittled. Fish oil, morning or night. Whatever works best for you. I take it in the morning. Keto. Yeah, I like keto, shown to be helpful for both Alzheimer's disease and for Parkinson's disease, interestingly. You will cycle. Great. Yes, cycling is great. Try to wake up 1 hour earlier and go for a run with the dogs. Great. Only go for a run if you want to. Walking. I do walking in the morning. That's really great. But make sure you're getting sunshine. Cutting out the sugars. Yes, you're great. That's great. I'll stop drinking coffee first thing in the morning. Awesome, 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 awesome. Mary, let me know how that goes. Curcumin recommendation. Yeah, make sure it has black pepper or piperine and take it with fat. That increases absorption. Cod liver oil, a good option. I don't know the difference in benefits between cod liver oil and fish oil. I think they're both beneficial. I don't have a specific recommendation for that. Excellent. I so appreciate it. Anything else you're going to take action on? I love people are waking up earlier, getting some exercise, not drinking coffee right away. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Am I single? Yes, Lady Moss, I am. Thank you for asking. It allows me to spend more time doing work. I'm keto too. That's great. Oh, if someone you know has long haul virus or brain fog from long haul virus, there is a link below my profile that has information on a masterclass for long haul virus. It's free to register. It's called Back to 100. You can go there. It's by Dr. Lionel King. He's from Johns Hopkins. Really handsome doctor. Very smart. So you can register for that for free, and that can help with brain fog and long haul virus. By the way, if you haven't watched it already, I have a free masterclass on how to prevent Alzheimer's disease. Check that out. You can find that underneath my profile as well. And thank you so much for being here. I love you. God bless you. I so appreciate it. Praxis, am I sponsored yet? No, not yet. I've not reached out to the companies. I'm so busy making content and doing research. I haven't asked them to sponsor me yet, but I think they will. People keep telling me how many supplements they're buying because I tell them. So I'm guessing they'll sponsor me at some point. We shall see. I'm probably going to do a Patreon sometime soon. Patreon is just a way for my subscribers to just pay a small monthly fee of whatever they want to help support me financially as I make content. So I'll probably offer that soon. And if anyone wants to support me on Patreon, that would just be awesome. The really cool thing about that is that just a few dollars a month with a number of people makes a big difference. Blessed Doctor, we appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Kimberly Loves. I appreciate that. Can we see your hair down? No, I'm not going to put my hair down. There's this unconscious bias people have against people with long hair, men with long hair. So you're not going to see me with my hair down. So thank you for asking, though. Hit my legs to remember things. That's awesome. You're always live. I'm live sometimes. You thank you for the information. You're welcome. Metformin. Yes, I take Metformin. It's a prescription drug. You got to get checked with your medical doctor in order to get it. Thank you for all your good advice, but not medical advice. Right, Capsy? Collagen powder, yay or nay? I take it in my coffee. It's great. Love my videos. Thank you. Any help with brain fog and hypothyroidism? Yeah. Go to an integrative or functional medicine doctor who is competent and work on your hypothyroidism, and that will help your brain fog. MCT and resveratrol, do they go well together? I like them together. I think they're great. Have a good evening. Thank you, I will. Doesn't metformin make diarrhea? I got stomach aches my first week on metformin. After that, it got better. Are you diabetic? No, I'm not. I take metformin for longevity purposes. I don't take it for diabetes. What helps with hair loss? I don't know. I have a little bit myself. Where am I located? I live in Boulder, Colorado. Leaky gut. Yeah, if you have leaky gut, go gluten-free. That'll make a big difference. Optimize your gut bacteria. That'll be a big deal, and stop eating processed foods and get better sleep, get some exercise. That can make a really big deal. Vegan diets. If you're on a vegan diet, take B complex vitamins for sure, and get some omega-3s. You can do algae oil, you can do flaxseed oil, you can do hemp seed oil. Longevity of what? Longevity of life. So people who take metformin, this is interesting. If someone has type 2 diabetes, those that take metformin, they live longer than those without type 2 diabetes. So in this scenario, you are better having type 2 diabetes and metformin than not having type 2 diabetes. That's how powerful metformin is for longevity and for health. Metformin also reduces the risk of Alzheimer's disease and those with type 2 diabetes. I'm taking it now with the understanding, with the expectation and the belief that it is good for me and is good for also metformin stresses the mitochondria. And so I take it for that as well to help promote mitochondrial health. And Dr. David Sinclair also recommends, and he takes metformin as well. I used to take it at night, and now I like to take it with meals, so that it helps lower my blood sugar as well. How to stop taking antidepressants. Judy, you need to work with a psychiatrist or a functional medicine doctor with that. That's a medical condition. What I would do is I would exercise more and get better sleep, get sunshine, get lots of sunshine. A lot of people who have depression are deficient in vitamin D, amongst other things, maybe B. So if I just wanted to if I had depression, I would get lots of sunshine, get good exercise, get regular sleep, and I would take a D vitamin up to 5,000 IU a day and a B complex vitamin and eat really healthy food, reduce the sugar, and spend time with loved ones. That's probably the best thing for that. All right, do we need B vitamins with metformin? No, but just take your, if you take a B vitamin once or twice a day, that's probably good. But I like to take, when I take nootropics, there's kind of guarantees that I have it. Do you have more help on ADHD? Yeah, I have a number of videos on ADHD that are pretty good. I'd watch that recorded content. Julie Armstrong, hi Robert, love your videos. Thank you for your advice, love from England. Thank you so much, Julie. I appreciate that. D3 and K2, yes, Praxis Moon. That's the form of D3. That's the form of vitamin D and vitamin K that you want. You're welcome, Judy. You're the best man. Thank you, Blue Power. Thoughts on black seed oil? Boy, people really want to know about the black seed oil. I will bring that tomorrow. I'm gonna go up and read about black seed oil right now. Eggs and walnuts, they're great. Brand recommendations for B complex. I like Thorne. I'm not sponsored by them. I likely will be soon because I keep selling their supplements. Do I have any videos on metformin? I do. You have to scroll way back. I'll make some more. Apple cider vinegar for gut health. I like it for gut health. I don't know if the research is super strong on that. I think it is helpful for gut health. Is melatonin safe for use? Melatonin, you kind of want to check with the doctor because people disagree with this. I take melatonin. I take about 10 milligrams a night to help with sleep and help reduce cancer. Don't give it to children. It's not safe for children. Let's get married. Vegas Blue, that sounds great. How many wives do I get? I would like at least 4, and then we can talk. That would be great. Why don't you like dairy? I love dairy. Dairy tastes delicious. I loved White Russians when I was in college. Oh my gosh, the cream with the Kahlua and the vodka, so good. Any Big Lebowski fans there? Love the Big Lebowski. But dairy causes inflammation, and I found that I didn't feel good when I drank it. So I'm not willing to trade how good I feel for food. I want my food to have me feel good. I'm not willing to trade cake or sugar or dairy to not feel good. That's a terrible trade-off for me. I value my life too much. And then I like the food that I eat. I eat delicious foods. I got no problem with that. Best supplement for gum health. I would say not eating sugar is probably the best. And then rinsing your mouth out after meals with water is really good. Boy, I'm getting all these comments. I just don't want to leave. Y'all are so fun. This is just like the best part of my day, answering questions and helping you out. How do you feel about Greek yogurt? I don't like yogurt in general. I think it's got too much sugar in it. And then dairy, I generally stay away from. I think yogurt made from goat milk is much, much better. I like your sense of humor. Thank you. Thank you, Mona. I appreciate that. Justin, how do you prepare your sardines? Justin, I told you this. So I take the sardines, I put the water from the sardine water or oil from the can, I put that in a bowl, add a little apple cider vinegar, smash it up, and I eat it. And you can add whatever seasonings you want. I'm sure someone's made a video on YouTube about how to prepare sardines, but I put it on a salad. Thoughts on tea? Love tea. Matcha's even better. Opinion on chromium or picolate. For zinc, I think picolate's better. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think picolate's better. Okay, melatonin safe for children. No. Don't do it. 2 eggs a day, bad? Depends on who you talk to. I do sometimes 4 or 6 eggs a day. We are deficient in choline as a society. Look up, I love this book, The Body by Bill Bryson. Bill Bryson's an amazing writer, great science writer. Another book by him is A Brief History of Everything by Bill Bryson. It's so well written, so funny, so interesting. And 90% of Americans are deficient in choline. Choline's a precursor to acetylcholine. That means we need to get more choline. That means egg yolks or beef liver or other foods rich in choline. So I think egg yolks are great. Stephen Gundry recommends eating the yolk and not the white, which is amazing. It used to be the opposite. Who remembers in the 80s, just eat egg whites, right? Remember that whole campaign? Throw away the yolk, just eat the egg whites? Question about hydrogen. Where can I buy hydrogen? Ask your medical doctor. I don't know what the restrictions are in Canada. Hydrogen was created by Albert Hofmann, who discovered LSD and psilocybin. Albert Hoffman's kind of a hero to millions of people. He's really made a difference in the world and in consciousness. Hydrogen is his gift to the prescription, to the pharmaceutical world. Hydrogen actually might be an anti-Alzheimer's drug. We don't have great data on it. It does increase oxygen that goes to the brain. So Hydrogen, very, very cool. I took some at Burning Man. I felt immediately better. I really felt a difference. It's very, very cool. Gene, if you want ADHD supplements, I did a couple videos on that. Those videos are pretty good. How to eliminate nightmares with melatonin. I've had those. Take less. Try cutting it in half. How to help with depression. I answered that earlier. Get morning sunshine. Get lots of sunshine, vitamin D, exercise, consistent sleep. Don't watch television or movies before bed. Get sleep and spend time with people you love and do something important in your life. If you do something important in your life, a lot of times depression is the result of not giving medical or psychiatric advice. Depression is a result of a kind of smaller world. So people feel depressed because they feel like they don't matter. And so if you don't want to be depressed, do something that matters. My favorite thing to do, after this, we're going to get going. One of my favorite things to do is go for walks in the neighborhood and pick up trash. It probably doesn't make a difference in the world. Like the neighborhood's just a little bit cleaner, right? It makes a difference when I pick up an aluminum can because that gets recycled. Otherwise, it just looks a little bit nicer. Does that really improve the quality of life of anyone in the neighborhood? Maybe not. Do you know who it helps the most? Me. Me picking up trash helps me the most. Why? Because I feel good about myself. I picked up trash today. I made a positive difference in the world. And it took me 5-10 seconds, and I feel good, and it's very physical and concrete. I picked up 5 pieces of trash today in an aluminum can. My neighborhood's slightly cleaner, and I'm recycling something. I'm doing good for the world. That's a big, that's about me. So me picking up trash doesn't help the world. It helps me because it helps the world just a little bit. So if someone is depressed, I recommend finding something you can do every day that you feel good about. Maybe that's telling someone you love them and doing that service. That's an act of service, saying I love you to someone. Call people you love and say, hey, I just want you to know I love you. I'm actually suffering with depression right now, and I just want to reach out and let you know I love you. You're a good person. And that could be the whole conversation. Or go out and pick up trash. Or go up to a homeless person and have a conversation with them. They would love to talk with you. Please be safe about it. But homeless people and people over 60, they're dying for people to talk to, or they really want to talk to people. So, that's something you can give. Give a conversation. Give a homeless person $5 or give them a sandwich. Do something that makes a difference in the world that feels good for you. That might be one of the best things for depression. And biochemically speaking, some of the best things for depression are getting adequate vitamin levels, so vitamin D, specifically sunshine, and exercise. Exercise can turn depression around like that. I've been anxious during the day, and then after exercise, I feel amazing. So I would do that. If you know someone who's depressed, please help them to do something that's meaningful to them, that means something to them, that reaffirms a good part of their character, and get them some exercise and some sleep, and that should be enough. All right. All these wonderful comments. I hope I can save all these. There's so many great questions here. Volunteer in animal shelter. Absolutely. Help the elderly. Absolutely. All right. This is so amazing. I so appreciate you being on here. I love you. God bless you. I'm so honored you chose to spend your evening here talking about neuroscience and supplements and Alzheimer's disease and how we can help with depression. And I really so appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, and have a wonderful evening. I love you too. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye-bye. What time tomorrow? Probably 8 p.m. Mountain. Please talk about collagen. Collagen's good. I like collagen. Put it in your coffee. What time tomorrow? 8 p.m. Likely around 8 p.m. Mountain time. You're welcome. See you then. Good night. Good night, Professor. You're welcome. Good night, dog. You're welcome, Julianne Delman. Greetings from Calgary. Thank you. Good night, Robert. Good night, Mona. You're welcome. L-carnitine. L-carnitine's great. I like it. All right. I love you all. Sorry you came at the end. Yeah, turn the page. Come about an hour earlier. Come about 8 p.m. Mountain tomorrow. Answers to the unanswered page. Answer the unanswered on your page, please. That's a good idea. I'm going to see if I can print all these and then just answer them as videos. Thank you. We love you. Thank you, User 101. Good night from Toronto. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you from the Philippines. Oh, the Philippines. Oh, thank you, Angela. No name left. Good night. Good night to you. Is biotin good? Take a B vitamin, B complex. It has biotin in it. Biotin also helps grow hair. Too much of it can cause acne. I love you too, euphoric. Good night.